PK in the universe, and I'm back again with another video. Today I'm here to talk about the Atari 2600 Plus, or is it minus? No, it's plus, but it feels kind of minus. That's what we're going to talk about, so let's get right into it. I have an original Atari 2600, or VCS as it was called before, Light Sixer. In fact, that one is the one that was in my family's house, believe it or not, when my mom was growing up. And I have that. I also have an Atari 4-switch, and that's one that I've had when I was 17 years old, and I just recently, last year, reacquired it, actually, because a buddy of mine still had it. And so I have two different ways to play Atari 2600 games. So why would I even need this, and how did I get it? Let's go over how I even got this to begin with, because you guys might be wondering what would possess me to buy this, or did I buy it? I actually didn't buy this. It was given to me for free. Not so fast, before you call me a shill for Atari. I was not given this by Atari. I was actually given this by my friend, Super Nicktendo, actually. He bought this with the intention to review it, and he later on decided, you know what, I don't really want to review this. So he handed it off to me. And you know something? That was pretty cool. You know, actually, I was not expecting to get that. So yeah, I was like, okay, thanks so much, man. I want to check this out. And I had told him in the past that I was like, you know what, this is something I wouldn't buy for myself, but I would definitely like to test out. And he was just kind of like, here you go. And I'm like, thank you. So yes, thanks again, Nick. I appreciate it. So now that you know I wasn't sent this for review purposes, let's get right into what I think about this darn thing, you know? So let's talk about the Atari 2600 Plus. First of all, it plays Hero, which is, you know, one of the greatest games of all time on the Atari 2600. So that is a huge plus column right there. The box it came in is freaking great. Obviously, it's not inside the box at the moment. Came with a brand new Atari 2600 controller, so that's cool. It came with a multi-cart, but I have issues with this right here. This is a weird multi-cart. I bet some of you guys were probably thinking, oh, if I put this little cart right in or whatever, I'll pop it in or whatever, and there'll be like a menu or something, kind of like Evercade, right? Wrong. You're wrong, unfortunately. And so was I, because that's what I thought originally. So on the back of this, there's this little switches or whatever. And on the front, it shows what order you have to have the switches in to actually play any of these 10 games that are on here. Comes with Adventure, Combat, Dodge 'em, Haunted House, Maze Craze, Missile Command, Real Sports Volleyball, Surround, Video Pinball, and of course, Yar's Revenge. So nice collection, sure, but it's kind of annoying that I have to mess around with this or whatever to get the right game. That's kind of lame. I don't think that's cool, honestly. We're in 2023 or 2024 now as I'm recording this. You would just think this would have a little minor user interface or something like that. So I thought that was kind of dumb, honestly. 1 second. So here's this system, up close and personal, as you can see. It's got an HDMI port on the back, so that's pretty nice. It's got a USB-C cable, so that's pretty cool. I can't remember. I don't think it came with a plug. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Again, my buddy Nick gave this to me, so I don't remember, honestly. And I got it last year, so I don't know. Maybe somebody in the comments section will correct me. You know, people love to have answers for things in the comments section. So this is pretty light, but it's also very solid. It's very durable. You know, I have confidence if I drop this, it wouldn't shatter into a million pieces, but I wouldn't drop it and, you know, test that, obviously, because I obviously don't want to break it. So I tested all 126 Atari cartridges that I have, and some of those were doubles. I even tested the doubles too. And out of them, this stack of games didn't work right. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily because of a compatibility issue or if the cartridge was just not working right. Like this one I know for sure does not work in any of my Atari 2600s. For whatever reason, this cartridge does not work. People love to tell you that, oh man, old cartridges were designed to last forever. That's just not true. Some of them just straight up stop working. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't get Chopper Command, Carnival, Mountain King, Barnstorming, Skyjinx, or Robot Tank to work. I don't know why. You know, some of these might have had compatibility issues. I have no idea. I didn't bother to look it up, honestly. Again, at the end of the day, these will work on my regular Atari 2600. I know all of these work. One thing that's really kind of off-putting too about this Atari 2600 Plus is specifically how certain cartridges don't fit in there quite right, actually. Now, the regular first-party Atari cartridges all fit in there perfectly, but for whatever reason, when I put like an Activision cartridge in, it just feels like it doesn't feel right. It feels a little bit off. And it's because it's like these kind or whatever. You know, a lot of them, the first party Atari carts, they have like the plastic on top and you push it in or whatever to secure the contact. But these don't have that. So I think that might be a factor in it. But the real question is, do I think this is a totally pointless system? It makes perfect sense why Atari decided to manufacture this. The reality is, in this day and age, they are selling brand new Atari 2600 and 7800 cartridges, maybe? Are they selling those too? They might be. So it makes sense that they would have a system that would play on them. Now, I don't have any Atari 7800 cartridges, so I couldn't actually test those out on this system. My buddy Nick did test some out, and he said like half his cartridges didn't even work. Oh, here's another thing too, folks. There is an update. Yes, this thing can be updated via a PC. And I was reading up on it, and it sounded really confusing and unuser-friendly. Like, this sounded worse than updating an OG Evercade, if that gives you any idea. I'm like, I don't want to do this. At the end of the day, you know, am I unhappy with this? No. Would I have paid $130 for this? No. And I wouldn't recommend you pay $130 either. Because the reality is, you can go grab an Atari 2600 at a pawn shop cheaper than you could get for this thing. And yeah, sure, that's 40, 50-year-old technology, but you know, it still works. Both my Atari 2600s still work and work great. The reason I'm going to keep this, though, is because I do love the idea that I can hook this up to an HD TV. I can hook this up to my Sony Bravia back here, or my Vizio 3D TV, or my Vizio 4K TV upstairs. I can hook it up to any HD TV, and that's nice. That's a nice advantage. So yeah, I'm going to keep it for that reason. Does this replace my two original Atari 2600s? Well, no, but I'm going to keep those and put those away because I want to reduce the wear and tear on those, and I'm just going to keep this out. And if I really want to play Barnstorming, if I really have a hankering for it, I do have the Activision Anthology on PS2, so I can always pull that out if I ever really need to play Barnstorming that badly, because that's the only one that I was like, oh man, I got to, you know. But, you know, I don't know why I had so many issues with Activision games or whatever. It was really trial and error, too. Like, I had a copy of Kangaroo that didn't work, but then another one worked just fine. So, but all these games, I know for a fact, worked on my other Atari 2600, so I don't know why it had so many issues working with this thing. So, yeah, it has its advantages and disadvantages. Like I said, it makes perfect sense that Atari is making these because they're selling modern cartridges now. But would I recommend people spend $130? No. Honestly, I don't even want to say go get a Retron 77 because I don't have one of those, honestly. And I've heard those have issues too of their own. But yeah, I mean, just go with the real thing, man. If you're just, you know, gaming on a budget, because at the end of the day, Atari 2600 is all about gaming on a budget. Okay, there's so many Atari 2600 games you can find for $1, $3, $5 at a flea market or pawn shop or whatever. And if it's all about cheap collecting and just a system to play it on, yeah, just get an original. But if you do really want to play your Atari games on an HD TV and you want something that comes in a really nice box and something that comes with a multi-cartridge that has 10 games on it, yeah, this might be for you, but I don't know. It wouldn't have been worth it to me to spend that kind of money. That's just my personal opinion about that. These are just my quick thoughts on the Atari 2600 Plus. Is it complete hot garbage? No. Is it meh? Yeah, it's kind of meh, honestly. I thought it was going to have a cool user interface. I don't know why. I don't know why I had that in my head, because I don't think I had seen anything about it, really. And it's cool that the Atari logo lights up. That's kind of neat. That's kind of a neat little thing, but overall, yeah, I can't give this a strong recommendation or anything, especially if you're trying to pursue like pure retro gaming, you know. It's like get an OG one, you know, and just hook it up with a coaxial cable and, you know, up to a CRT TV. That's like retro gaming in its purest form. But this is fine too. It's fine for what it is. You know, it's just not worth what it is. It's not worth $130. So you'll never convince me otherwise. So anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you have the Atari 2600 Plus? Were you considering buying it before you watched this video? Comment below. I'd love to hear what you had to say. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.